Hi, everybody. State Representative Andrew Barkis here, and I'm with Representative April Connors. And we just finished cutoff here for the 2024 session, House of Origin cutoff. And no big surprise, the last bill that came up was House Bill 2114, the rent control bill. Another no big surprise, it passed the House. And I just want to give a ton of credit to Representative Connors for engineering just a fantastic debate that we had and working so hard to really articulate our message. And the message is pretty simple. This is really bad policy for Washington State. It's tough today, you know. We're up here under the dome, in the gallery, and I can hear the other side clapping because they're pretty excited about this policy that they just passed. And yeah, I don't think I'd be clapping right now. I think what we're going to see is the effect of policy that is going to manipulate the market in a way that's going to be detrimental to the housing supply in Washington State. I think that we need to do more, and we could have done so much more in this session, so much more in the time on the floor to pass meaningful policy like rental assistance and things that we've been talking about that would help people right now, immediately. Rent control has not worked throughout our country. It's had a bad effect, and it's going to. And I don't know. It's very, very frustrating right now because it just doesn't seem like the other side, the majority, is listening to solutions that would fix Washington in a way that it should be. Do you agree?
I agree. I think that today it was unfortunate. There were a lot of stories that were told by the majority party of people that are hurting. Most of those that they were talking about were renters. And I too have toured my district. I've talked to people who are hurting right now for the price of rent, but I'm also seeing rents come down in my district. But I've also talked to the housing providers, and I think that is where some of the misconceptions coming through is they're actually not talking to both sides of the piece. And Rep. Barkis said it great on the House floor today, where if you're not working together, then how are you going to move forward with a solution for both sides?
You know, we heard the words fairness and predictability brought up today. And I would say that this policy is exactly the opposite. I do not believe it's fair because it takes into consideration one side of the equation. 46 pieces of legislation the last 5 years. One side, tenant-centric policy, tenant protections. What about the housing providers? You cannot have a relationship without those that provide the housing. And in this case, that fairness is not there. And predictability, you know, this does anything but allow for predictability. Inflation, property taxes, cost of maintenance, everything that's going on in our marketplace right now that's causing housing to go up. You know, last thing I'll say is this. We need to be the solution here, and we've heard it before. The government is not the solution. In this case, this is indicative. The problem didn't start today. It didn't start yesterday. It started over the last 20 plus years in Washington State of bad policy, overregulation, and government interference in the marketplace. And if you'd think we'd learn by now that there's a better way to do it. We've shown it. We've given solutions. Unfortunately, sometimes they just don't listen. So we'll have to see what happens as it moves forward now into the Senate. And hopefully we'll be able to stop this before it becomes law and provide some other solutions that maybe will in fact fix the problem that we have here with our housing situation in Washington State.
Yeah. No, I agree. We've provided a lot of solutions this session to help fix Washington. Some of those being an immediate relief, voucher programs that would help our most vulnerable people be able to afford their rent and stay in their homes as our market continues to stabilize. Other things that we put in this year where I had a bill, Rep. Barkis, that would have allowed housing just outside of the urban growth area where we have infrastructure and bus lines and water, sewer, garbage, everything there. And those bills did not make it out of committee because they're not listening to rural communities either on these issues.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, thanks for listening, taking a couple minutes. We're not done. We just got done with cutoff, but we've got a lot of session left. It ends March 7th. We go back to committee to hear the other bills, and then we'll be back on the floor to work it all out with a lot of stuff in between. So stay tuned, keep watching, we'll keep you informed. And thanks for taking a minute with us.